I'm not sure if some of you have seen a copy of the indictment in the Perna Manzo case. It's about 11 or 12 pages. I'm not going to read it all to you right now, but I will read a portion that I thought was interesting in this case. Full disclaimer at this point, it's a little bit, there's sensitive content, obviously, because there's some violence involved. So if you don't want to listen to that, you can fast forward to the next part. And of course, I will have a copy of the full indictment available in my Substacks, housewivesrelatable.substack.com. Okay, so here it is. So it's in the section Purposes of the Enterprise. The purpose of the enterprise included, but were not limited to, the following. A. Enriching the members and associates of the enterprise through criminal activity, including, among others, crimes of violence, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, drug trafficking, wire and mail fraud, making and collecting extensions of credit and gambling. Promoting and enhancing the prestige, reputation, and position of the enterprise with respect to rival criminal organizations. C. Preserving and protecting the power, reputation, territory, and criminal ventures of the enterprise through the use of acts in violations of the laws of the United States and the state of New Jersey. And D. Concealing the activities of the enterprise from law enforcement. Violent crime in aid of racketeering activity. Defendant Thomas Manzo was a co-owner of a restaurant and wedding venue in Passaic County, at which defendant John Perna was scheduled to hold a wedding reception on August 16, 2015. The reception. Many of the guests invited to the reception were members of the Lucchese crime family. Defendant Thomas Manzo, upset that victim 1 had an ongoing relationship with his former wife, planned to have a violent assault committed on victim 1 that would leave a permanent facial scar. In or about early 2015, defendant Thomas Manzo, knowing of defendant John Perna's membership in the enterprise and intending that defendant John Perna would use that membership in furtherance of his request, offered to hold the reception for free or at a deeply discounted price if defendant John Perna would commit or cause to be committed a violent assault on victim 1. Defendant John Perna accepted defendant Thomas Manzo's offer and subsequently directed accomplice number 1 to commit the violent assault on victim 1. Accomplice number 1 agreed to commit the assault because, as an associate of the enterprise, he was expected to comply with defendant John Perna's commands and because he intended to maintain and enhance his position with the enterprise as a result. In order to aid and assist in the commission of the violent assault, defendant Thomas Manzo provided defendant John Perna and accomplice number 1 with personal information about victim 1 to enable them locate victim 1's residence, business addresses, and vehicle so they could assault him. On or about July 18, 2015, based upon information provided by defendant Thomas Manzo, defendant John Perna, and accomplice 1 located victim 1 and his vehicle, and eventually followed victim 1 to a strip mall in Passaic County, New Jersey. At the strip mall, defendant John Perna, an accomplice, attacked victim 1 in the parking lot. Defendant John Perna used a dangerous weapon, namely a slapjack, with the intent to inflict serious, permanent injury on victim 1. In return for the commission of the violent assault on victim 1, defendant Thomas Manzo fulfilled his agreement to hold the reception at a free or discounted price. From at least as early as in or about January 2015, throughout at least on or about August 31st, 2015 in Passaic County, in the District of New Jersey and elsewhere. The defendants, together with accomplice number 1 and others known and unknown, aiding and abetting each other for the purpose of maintaining an increasing position in the Lucchese crime family, an enterprise engaged in racketeering activity, did knowingly and intentionally assault victim 1 with a dangerous weapon, contrary to NJSA 2C12-1. So I just wanted to go back to the part in the indictment where it says that on or about July 18, 2015, based upon information provided by the defendant Thomas Manzo, John Perna, and the accomplice number 1, they locate the victim number 1. The victim number 1 would be Dave Cantin in his vehicle, and eventually followed him to a strip mall in New Jersey. And at the strip mall, they basically proceeded to attack him in the parking lot and to assault him. So why I thought that date was interesting, I don't know if you guys recall, but I'm pretty sure Lauren Manzo got married on July 18, 2015. And if you followed the show Manzo with Children religiously, you can see, Caroline does a confessional at some point in time, and she says that, her and Dina kind of addressed their issues, and therefore she's invited to the wedding done, right? She doesn't really explain what they talked about. She just kind of makes like a blanket or general statement and says, okay, you guys want to know the burning question, like, is my sister going to come or attend the wedding? Yes, she's going to attend the wedding. And we see Dina very briefly. She walks down the aisle with her father supporting her. Father was alive at the time, and he kind of walks her to her seat right at the church. And we also see in the footage that Tommy Manzo, who happens to be, of course, Lauren Manzo's uncle, was sitting there in the pews and just looking a little quiet, a little somber. And I'm not sure if it's the placement of the camera, if he was sitting in front or behind Dina, but I know we see him on TV, like the camera kind of like captures his face. So I think that this is very interesting that the first assault on Dave took place on the day that Lauren Manzo got married.